everyone, it's Vilma. Welcome back to my channel. So today I have a eyeshadow palette review on the L'Oreal La Palette Nude Beige. Now I'm not too sure if all over Europe it has this name, but the two that were released here in the UK, one is called Rosé and this one is called Beige. I know that in America they're called either La Palette Nude 1 or Original, and this one is called Nude 2, but here they have names just in case you guys are wondering. This is from the UK. Now the La Palette Nude Rosé, I've done a review several months ago and I'll link it below if you guys have not seen it yet, but this one was the second release and I think I have it now for about, I would say 3 months or so if I'm not mistaken, and I have been using it, and I think it's about time that I do a review for you guys to let you know if I think it's worth the price tag, because this palette costs £14.99 for 7 grams of product, which is 10 eyeshadows. So as always, when I'm doing reviews, I always like to read the description on the website so you guys know what they're actually claiming. It says that L'Oreal Paris Color Rich La Palette Nude Beige consists of a symphony of nude tones specifically chosen by our makeup designers to create your own glamorous and sophisticated nude eye looks. Our palette of 10 shades will help you create effortless nude eye looks, from neutral mattes to rich browns. Create your timeless nude looks for any occasion. And just for your info, on the website there's only 2 reviews and both of them are kind of like 3.5 stars to 4 stars. So just letting you guys know. So I'm going to start with the packaging. As I said in the first palette that I reviewed, I actually really like the packaging. I find it quite sleek. It does leave imprints of your fingers on it, but you know, you can't complain too much. This is a drugstore product. And at the back, you also have the shades available in, I think this is glued onto it. It's a little bit of piece of paper that it's glued onto it, so you have a fair idea of what the shades are, because when you go to the store, this packaging is completely covered in plastic. There are no swatches available, which is really bad for Boots. They should have one palette available so you can swatch the eyeshadows to make sure that you want to buy it, but at least you have a fair idea of how they will look like. Now on the inside, you have a very large mirror, or the same size as the palette, and the packaging is quite sturdy, so the mirror actually stays like that. It doesn't close unless you want it to, which I can really appreciate, because if you're on the go or you're on holiday, you want something to just stay still. You know, when you're trying to put your makeup and the mirrors just go everywhere and sometimes you end up breaking the packaging. I think this one actually is pretty nice. It also comes with a brush, as I mentioned before, which I tossed ages ago because I never use them. I think they're useless and I don't even know why they provide them. But then again, people who don't have brushes and cannot afford to have brushes, they may well use the brush itself. So the palette has 10 eyeshadows and it has, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matte. I was gonna say 6. It has, excuse me, 6 matte shades, and the other ones are pretty shimmery or frosted. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 shimmery shades, which is not too bad. The colors, I find them very nice. Definitely a fantastic color selection for a nude palette. And I really like it. Actually, one of my favorite eyeshadows in this palette is this one over here. Even though it doesn't translate as rosy gold kind of on the pan, when I swatch it on my arm, you can see it's somewhat rose gold toned, and I find colors like that are very attractive on the eye, at least for my skin tone, which is medium NC30ish skin tone. Now I have to say that I am not too impressed with this eyeshadow palette, because I don't think that the matte shades, at least the lighter ones like this one here and this one, they're not all that pigmented, especially this one. They are chalky and they have a lot of fallout, I find. The darker matte eyeshadows, they actually are pretty pigmented. You have a lot of pigmentation coming out. The color payoff is fantastic, but I don't find that these eyeshadows are very easy to blend. It could be the brushes that I'm using, but they're Sigma. Sigma brushes are pretty nice to blend makeup, eyeshadows, and I don't find that this particular palette gives a good color payoff, and I find that the shadows drag, so they don't blend in all that nice. I find that the shimmery shades are a lot nicer to use and to blend, and easier to blend than the other shades. I have it on my eyes at the moment, and this is my favorite look that I always create when I use this palette. It is pretty nude, very wearable. You can use this during the day. It's a look that it's so easy to wear. You can wear it for any occasion. You can intensify the look as well if you go out at night. But I personally just don't think that the palette is worth the price tag. This is just my opinion. It's not about the amount of product that it has, because I know in the States it has more product, but I never finish my palette, so having this size is perfect. But I still find it quite expensive, just because for me it doesn't have that great color payoff, and the quality of the shadows is not all that good. So I would wish that L'Oreal would actually make this a little bit cheaper, because if you want better quality at the drugstore, you can actually buy MUA, and an eyeshadow palette from MUA will cost you £4, and it has the same amount of pigmentation, if not better. And Sleek has definitely won the trophy for me, because Sleek gives fantastic color payoff on their eyeshadows. So that is basically it for this review. It was short and sweet. I hope I was straight to the point, so you guys have a fair idea of what the palette can provide. Please bear in mind that these are only my thoughts and views. If you have the palette and it works for you, fantastic. But for me, I would rather give an extra 15 or 20 pounds and get an Urban Decay palette or Too Faced palette, because they are expensive, but the color payoff is fantastic, and maybe just one eyeshadow from the whole palette will not be as good as the rest. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I'll speak to you guys very soon. Bye.